Anyways, so let's go to the prepared speech session. So this one, we have three students who took at least their time to really prepare a speech. There'll be three speakers for tonight. You can see the objectives, clear objectives at the back of your paper for this, Project 1, Project 5, and Project 7. So to give you a clear idea of how simple or how complex the objectives are. Also, FYI, if you realize after the table topic sessions, there's one task that you guys have to do. There's this dotted lines below. So if you flip the page, you guys have to vote who is the best table topic speaker of the night. Right, so there are the names, so just choose one. And the prizes, they get a massive hand clap. Like, okay, anyways, without further ado, let's welcome Mitten Cox. She is the Project 1 speaker for tonight. Mitten.
Hi guys, good evening. This is my first CC project. Can I ask you one question? Can you guess what's the tomorrow's weather? Yeah?
Yeah.
Who can guess? Sunny? Rainy?
Sunny or rainy?
Sunny? Oh. Yeah. You can check weather forecast through the internet. Nowadays, we can check many things in our life through the internet or through many apps. Many uncertainty in our life are really reduced. However, life was just like a box of chocolate, and you never know what you are going to get. Is this sentence really familiar to you? Yeah, it's from the movie called Forrest Gump. And I really I want to share with you that when I was 4 years old, and my mom told me that your father and I will bring your sister to Hong Kong next week, and you need to stay in Guangzhou until your ID card is made. I just feel, because I was too young at that time, and I guess they just went traveling but without me. And however, as the time passed, I asked my grandma where was my family, and she told me that the fact, and I finally understood they were settled in Hong Kong already. And the experience of separating from family is quite really engraved in my heart. Maybe I was just too young at that time. I really enjoyed my childhood. I played with my cousin who just like my siblings, and I think my childhood was delighted. When I was 6, I came to Hong Kong, and in the beginning, our flat was very small and it's a bit proud for 4 people, and it was very noisy too because there was a wet market nearby, and although the living standard was not as good as what I expected, I think it was really blissful and lucky to stay with my family again. And also, I want to talk about my father, because my father was a construction worker. I think although he didn't have any day off through the whole week, but he always spent time to chat with me after work. I really respect him because he's just really nice, and I love him very much. And the life seems better and become more stable when the time passes, until it comes to last year. I was a normal Form 6 student who always bury my head into mountain-like books and prepare for the public exam. I think the biggest hardship I met at that time was not only the study, but also a threatening news from my father. Because my father is diagnosed to have a cancer, and it's very, I really worry him because it's the first time my family have this kind of disease. However, thanks to my met. Um, after over this period, my father's condition become better after accepting different therapy, and I finally get into the university. And just feel, although there are many uncertainty in our life, I have complained why my life seems much more difficult than others, and why I need to confront with these two problems at the same time. Why? I always complain to this ask this question, but finally I understand, because even though we complain, and it doesn't help to improve the situation. Only when you accept there are tons of uncertainties in your life, you can have the bravery to withstand these problems. And finally, no one can know what you are going to get in a box of chocolate. So hope you can just feel and just withstand this uncertainty in life. Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, cool. So thank you very much for that project one. So just to give you a background, her project was all about giving an icebreaker, a self-introduction, try to understand what is her strength or weakness in public speaking. So as she goes through the different sections, then we'll build it up and make her like a really awesome public speaker or whatnot. Also, her evaluator was Blair. Hi, Blair's there. So she's the one evaluating Meaton for that. So that we figured out what is Project 1. So it was like, oh, Project 1's nice, but we want something more complex, Jared. So that's why we're bringing you Project 5. Wow. Project 5 is all about movement, gestures, facial expression, like all of those stuff. So message and achieve your speech purpose, make your body language smooth and natural. Focus on methods of delivery, but do not overlook speech content. So with this, we'll have his guest, his evaluator, Ms. Samson Tam. Samson's there. By the way, as well, Chloe is here as a timer, so they switch roles, just an FYI. So Samson will be evaluating. So let's welcome Mr. Alan Lau. Alan.
So, before I start my speech and introduce myself, let me ask all of you a question. If somebody gives you 10,000 Hong Kong dollars and asks you to stay on the mountains for 41.5 hours without sleeping and have to walk 100 kilometers and 10 mountains, will you do that?
No.
No. Well, I did that. Of course, the money is not for my personal gain. It's more for charity. I did that for the Trail Walker in 2010. And by professions, I am a town planner. And I am a member of an organization called Hong Kong Institute of Planners. And for that organization, there is a Trail Walker team. And they participate in the Trail Walker every year. And that's how I got involved into this marvelous event. From this event, I have learned 3 very important lessons in my life. And that's why tonight I'm here. I would like to share my story on the mountains with you all and the 3 lessons I've learned with you all. So, I never was a serious hiker actually. I joined the walk simply because I am a member of the organizations and I have a duty to fulfill. I have to take part in the trail walking team. And most importantly, I was recruited as a backup members only at the very beginning. I never really think that I have to walk. But unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, about 2 months before the walk, one of the regular members get hurt from a football match. And and I was really shocked and surprised at that moment. That means I have to replace him. Although I have to do all the makeup training for that, but I still don't have the confidence that I can finish the walk. Luckily, things got into a little bit better when I received a very encouraging email from the support team. That email said a lot of encouraging things to us, to the trail walker teams. And among those, the following sentence really touched me, and I really wish to share with you all. It said, every one step you have walked means you are one step closer to your goal. Think about it. It's really true for every aspect in our life. If you think that a 100-kilometer walk is very difficult, don't bother to think about it. Just focus on the upcoming 1 kilometer or maybe even the 100 meters ahead of you and finish it. If you are worried about the $5 or $6 million for your dream house, don't bother. Just think about a way that you can save maybe $2,000 or even $1,000 every month. And don't worry about how to be a successful Toastmaster. Just do your next assignment and speech well and learn from it. As long as we don't give up, eventually we will get to that. So that's the first lesson I've learned. And with that encouragement, I feel a little bit better. And very lucky, I got a very good start at the walk. It was a sunny and cool Saturday. It is very good for hiking. And I was doing very well for the first 40 kilometers. However, after the 40 kilometers, I got into some trouble. By that time, it was about 2 a.m. in midnight. We reached the top of a mountain. We were very cold and very tired, and the whole team decided to just maybe take a 15 minutes break. At that moment, I really want to quit. I was seriously thinking that maybe after taking a break, I should tell my teammate that I can't do it. Maybe you guys keep going and good luck. Well, but luckily, after the break, one idea just come to my mind. I suddenly remember that if I can finish the walk successfully, my sponsor, they would pay extra donations for the walk. So I just realized that the walk is very meaningful, not only for me, but for other people. That if I keep walking, more poor people in the mainland China can benefit from it. So I told myself, maybe I stay put for a while and keep walking for a while and see what will be going on. And that's the second lesson I learned here. Have faith in your work. Ask yourself, if you are facing difficulties in your work, ask yourself, does your work will make the world become a better place? Will you help other people? Most importantly, ask yourself, is it the right thing to do? If yes, don't give up. Just do it and keep going. So after with that, I have did that idea into my mind. I feel like I got more energy. And somehow I managed to walk another 30 kilometers. After that, another problem appeared. I felt my feet was very, very hurt, and I cannot walk really fast. And even worse, my teammate, they are walk much faster than me, and they are reaching another checkpoint. So I was practically walking alone. And once again, I really want to quit. I was thinking about, hey, maybe once I reach the next checkpoint, it's time to quit. And by the time I reached a checkpoint, surprisingly, I saw someone very special for me. It was my wife. Well, I was really surprised and happy because I told her just wait at the final checkpoint for me because I never thought that I can finish the walk. And I don't want her to see me in such a bad shape. But she said that she wants to support me, and she also gave me some hot soup. I was really touched, and I just feel like the energy is back to me. And so I held her hand and walked. And eventually, I even keep up with my teammate, and me, my wife, and my teammate all together finished the walk at the final checkpoint together. It lasts 41.5 hours, and that's how the title comes.
Wow.
So yes, that was a remarkable experience, And to conclude my speech tonight, that's the third lesson I learned is family. Family is very important to us. Allow your family to help you when you are in the difficult situations. So that's pretty much my story I would like to share with you all and the lessons I've learned from it. And I think it's time to hand over the stage to our MC. Thank you very much.
How about you guys? I thought it was like a movie scene, you know, you see the wife with the soup, it's like that insert background music. Anyways, so thank you very much for that Project 5. We're going to our last project. Unfortunately, it's not 6, you know, because 6 was a bit scared. You know why Project 6 was scared? It's a joke. Because 7, 8, 9. Anyway, we're at Project 7. For Project 7, the one we'll be evaluating our, for this speaker is Coco Chien. Coco Chien, she'll be evaluating. So, if you look back, Project 7 is all about researching your topic. So for this, the speaker needs to collect information about your topic, her topic, from numerous sources, carefully support her points and opinions with specific facts, examples, and illustrations, and gather through research. So with this, we just want to welcome our Project 7 speaker, Alison.
Hello everyone. Do you guys know ICG? Yes. The Taiwanese girl group? No. Don't get me wrong. In my speech, ICG has a new meaning. S stands for Singapore. H stands for Hong Kong. And E stands for where I come from, the eastern coast of China. So before I start my speech, let me briefly introduce myself to you first. My name is Alison, a mainland student who have been studying in Hong Kong for 2 years. And last semester, I took a study tour to Singapore in order to have more exposure. So people with different cultural backgrounds will have different definitions towards the same word, as we all know. Let me share a hilarious moment with you. After I decided to go on that study tour, a final year student who visited Singapore previously came up to me and said, "Hey Alison, I want to give you some advice." Okay, he said, "You really have to mind your behaviors in Singapore because there is CCTV everywhere." And I got confused and I replied, "Sorry, wait a minute, you mean China Central Television is shown everywhere in Singapore?" Obviously, I got him crazy. He yelled at me and said, "No, it's closed circuit television." That was hilarious, right? So, before I go to Singapore, I did some research. And I found out that there are so many similarities between Hong Kong and Singapore. For example, both of the cities are Asian tigers, financial centers, small in size, so on and so forth. What impresses me most is the multiculturalism in both cities. My journey of exploring Singapore began with Singaporean Airlines. Last year, I took a Singaporean airline back to Beijing. Guess what? As soon as I boarded the airplane, I was utterly mesmerized by the flight attendant's uniform. What happened? Wow.
Other way. Point at the computer.
Sorry. Not only because of the Chinese traditional phoenix pattern on it, but also Malay flowers on the sleeves. It looks like pretty much like chi pao with tropical elements, right? So I couldn't help asking the flight attendant, why you wear uniforms like this? And they told me that this is a traditional Nyonya clothing. Nyonya stands for a girl who has a Malay mother and a Chinese father, and they are the Peranakan Chinese of Singapore. So the Nyonya race left a deep impression on me. So I furthered my research and discovered that the population in Singapore mainly consists of Chinese, Malays, Indians, and Eurasians, and their government promotes multiculturalism through a range of official policies. And that's the reason why typical symbols of multiculturalism, like Joo Chat, Katong, and Baba House, can be easily found in Singapore. Well, Hong Kong the same story took place in Hong Kong as well. Hong Kong is a place where traditional Chinese architectures can be found near decorated churches and mosques, where people on the street speak both Chinese and fluent English, where in the restaurant, chopsticks lay side by side with knives and forks, where East meets West. You guys know what? Before I came to Hong Kong 2 years ago, I thought there is only one type of English in the whole world, one type of English accent. That is my high school teacher's accent. And so after I arrived in Hong Kong, I surprisingly discovered that there were so many English accents being used in Hong Kong. British accent, American accent, Indian accent, of course, Hong Kong accent. Right? So I would like to imitate a small part of Hong Kong accent for you. Like, morning greetings, okay? Hi, Alison. I knew you're gonna present tomorrow. Don't worry, love. You just need to, even you just put your textbook in the locker. Professor will give you full mark. So, even though people from all over the world gathered in Hong Kong, but we can still sit down and hang out. Throughout Hong Kong's century-and-a-half colonial history, people cherish different architectures, relations, festivals, cuisines, and languages. They make the diversity an advantage, not hindrance. They make multiculturalism as a motivation for progression, not thoughts of conflict. That is what makes Hong Kong the Oriental Pearl. Soft power, a term I'm sure you're all familiar with. Shashi Tharoor, an Indian novelist and politician, has defined it, soft power, as the ability for a culture to tell a compelling story and influence others to fall in love with it. And I believe the bedrock of building soft power is to maintain multiculturalism. We can make use of others' ideas, languages, customs, cuisines, our own. Adapt them to our own use. Because our culture is, above all, one of selecting the best and making it our own. Through understanding each other's cultures, we gain insight in each other's hearts and true selves. And I think that's the purpose of higher education, and that's the reason why our school sent us abroad. I believe Hong Kong and Singapore are the great demonstration of our Confucius interpretation. That way, please. Harmony without homogeneity. In Chinese, 和而不同. So, no matter you're Hong Konger, mainlander, or foreigner, we are all banded together. And I believe multiculturalism will be the force for the betterment of all of us. And that brings us to the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Wow, it's like Alison was doing a speech for presidency, you know. Please vote for me. Oh wait, she is the president of Toastmasters Club. Ah. So that is the Project 7 for our meeting. And that was actually also our last prepared speech for tonight. I hope you guys liked it. So later on, after the break, you would hear the evaluations from our guest evaluators.